Okay, I'm Gary Peter Carlson of iCheckYourSoul.com, and this is a consultation video with Kelly Howell for her soul report. Now, Kelly is qualified for ascension. Her soul's on the 9th level, got a very high soul, violet or indigo color. She's got maximum good karma, and I think minimum. You had a 1 in 11 of karma footprint. Is that right?
That sounds right. I'd have to check it again.
Yeah, so that's okay. I think that's it. She says her life's going well now, but initially she put 68% of her soul in her body, and that means 32% is on the soul plane, which is awful high, which indicates that she decided that her life was going to be tough. And when she was loading her body with the correct percentage of her soul on the soul plane before she started, she was guided to put that much in. And apparently it worked out because she's happy now and claims she had a good life and everything. Maybe we can talk a little bit about some of the hard challenges you had in life, why you needed so much of your soul in there. All right, go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of challenges when I was young. My family challenges, divorces, things like that. And I've been on my own since I was about 14. So, I had a lot of challenges just dealing with life, being out there at 14 and then getting, when I got older, I wanted to, go to school, get an education, and I had to figure out how to do that myself. And so, yeah, I've had a lot of challenges. I think I don't regret them, but it's life has just been, not easy, right? This life has not been easy, but my life now is beautiful. I live in a cabin in the woods in a very small town in the mountains in Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it here. My life is so peaceful now. It's just wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have another friend in Colorado that I talk with quite a lot. Wow, that's amazing. Small cabin in the woods in Colorado, and you love it, huh?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful here. Just gorgeous.
You
Yeah.
don't get too much snow or anything like that?
We had a lot of snow this year, more than usual. It set records this year, so it was kind of difficult because when you get that much snow, it's very destructive, knocking down trees and branches, and so that was a bit of a challenge. Yeah, this year was a lot more snow than usual, so we'll
Do you,
see what happens next year.
you got a snow blower or something like that?
I don't. I have a neighbor who has a bobcat. And
Oh,
so he comes over and clears the snow for me because it it's a lot when the snow's wet, it's just a lot. It's very heavy and hard to move. It was very wet snow this year.
yeah, I'm in Los Angeles area, Long Beach now. Don't get snow, but I grew up in Lansing, Michigan, and we had some snow. We had huge
Yeah.
drifts at times, but probably 2/3 of the days of the winter, there's no snow on the ground there. Is that how? Is most of the time there's no snow on the ground in the winter?
Right.
It,
Yeah. Usually it just you'll have a storm and then it will melt and then we'll have another storm. But
yeah.
probably 5 or 6 storms a year and then it melts. Yeah. Yeah. And it's beautiful. The snow is beautiful. I grew up in Toronto and so I'm familiar with a lot of snow. In
They have
Tor-
more there, huh?
yeah, in Toronto, when it starts snowing, it seems like it never melts until April, and
Oh, it stays on the ground all winter.
yeah, yeah.
More
So
north, I guess, huh?
I like it here better where it melts away.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You get some season changes where you're at now too.
yeah, yeah. We get all the seasons here. It's beautiful, just beautiful. Yeah,
All right, you got some questions about your soul report or your soul or spiritual?
yeah. I had to write them down so I wouldn't
Oh,
forget.
well, that's great. That
um,
helps out a lot.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of information in the report, so I kind of I had to go through and write them things down, and your website, I went to your website and I read everything in your website. It was very interesting, very good information, and that's why I decided to contact you about a soul report. And
Oh, you read the website first, huh?
yeah, I watched some
Oh,
videos you did with Alfred.
uh-huh. Yeah, I got 90 videos now. This will be the 91st.
Wow, yeah. So that's how I found you, because I watched some videos that you did with Alfred, and then I found your website through that. And yeah, those were really good and very interesting. And
I think I'm the world's expert on souls.
I think you might
I
be.
know something about every part of the soul. There's other people that are know way more about one aspect of it, but then they don't know anything about the rest. And
Right,
I know about every part of it.
right. Yeah, that's true. You cover a lot of different areas. That's true. In my report, you talked about what the level 9 indigo. What does that mean? What do those levels mean? The colors.
Okay, you're more positive, and you have the ability to teach spirituality to the new souls coming along or the souls on lower levels. And there's 10 levels, so you're at the second highest level. I'm on that level also. Uh,
Okay.
and if somebody would check their aura, check your aura now while you're in a person, that they would get that color or should get that color or mostly that color.
Yeah. And
And
then and you talked about the rainbow body.
okay,
Um, you said what you get the rainbow body 40 days before ascension. Was that correct?
that's what I'm guided to tell everybody. Yeah. Um. What how what percentage chance did it say you had of getting it?
I think it was very high. I have to go to my soul report to check.
Yeah, maybe I can look at it real quick.
I should just pull it up here.
Yeah, I got it. I'll find it. Prison song evil. Okay. Oh, you got a 90% chance. Okay, that's as high as
Okay.
that's as high as it goes.
Okay. Now, I wrote it down here. I didn't notice
Yeah, you
it.
got 90%. Okay,
Okay.
yeah that means you'll have some of the fifth density abilities. You'll be able to fly and read minds, and your body will. If somebody goes to shoot you, your body will change phase, and the bullet will just pass through when you'll be unharmed. Uh, you'll be able to do a lot of special things. And if you read Dave Wilcox does some work on the rainbow body, where people thousands of years ago they would meditate. Oh, we lost your picture. Did you turn your camera?
Somebody called. I got it.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, it's back on. Uh, yeah, they cut it. They cut off ascension out of cycle about 3,000 years before the ascension window opens up. But before that, people used to like do long series of meditation and things like that to try to make ascension out of cycle. And if they had a real high positive soul, like you do, they would get this rainbow body. And one of the characteristics they would show everybody is they can make like a rock wall soften. They could put their foot or the hand on the rock wall and make their rock soften. They could leave their handprint in the rock. And they showed some of that in, I think it was China or Tibet or somewhere around there in that Central Asia. And they would have the ability to help the people around them and teach a little bit. And I think they give this the bill. I'm told, I get all this information dowsing. And I'm told that like 100 people will get this rainbow body. And you'll have these extra abilities. And if there's things going wrong on Earth, you'll be able to help correct them.
Yeah, that would be great.
Teach and help the people around you. Yeah, you'll be able to defeat gravity with your mind and fly in the air, float in the air if you want. I asked about it. I think you can go about 30 to 60 miles an hour flying, and you can't go that fast. I think that you wouldn't be. You could fly to New York or something like that if you wanted, but it might take all day or something to get there.
Yeah,
a whole day.
Maybe a year and a half ago, I had an experience where my living room furniture and things seemed not to be solid anymore.
Wow.
And I could move through them. And I felt, if you have experience where you feel this love in your body, this great love and peace in your body, and I felt that, and all of a sudden things didn't seem solid.
I think you're getting a glimpse of the soul plane somehow.
Yeah, it was very nice experience, but it didn't last long, but it was just like a glimpse, like you say.
Yeah, what happens? Okay, I think what happens when you die is, and you make ascension. First, you go through a life review. You look at what you did all your life and everything like that, good and bad, and talks about that. And you do that on the soul plane, and then you go into fifth density and get the fifth density body that I describe in my site. You don't die or anything. You'll take this body up there, and your body will be when you go into a different density. Whatever your body or whatever you have will be expressed differently. Like your body now has like 7 openings, and you eat and drink and breathe, and you have the openings in your body. When you go to fifth density, you won't eat, drink, or breathe or talk anymore, and your body will be sealed with no openings. You'll still have a head, 2 eyes, and 2 ears, and stuff like that, but you won't be able to talk or eat or drink, and you won't sleep. And you'll have like a sealed body, but you'll be in a physical place like here, but they don't have liquids or gases in fifth density, but they do have other states of matter besides solid. So it must be some plasma type thing or something like
Yeah.
that, or maybe there's gooey matter or something like that. I don't know exactly what it could. It might be something that we don't have the ability to understand until we experience it or something.
Right.
And you do all your communication by telepathy with the people around you, and I think when your body is hungry, what you do is you go to a certain area where there's energy crystals, and you bathe in them and take in some energy, and then it replenishes your body, and then you go back to the normal areas. Now you have a high soul score and high good karma. So when you make ascension in the fifth density, you should do much better than the average person that makes it there because of your high scores and karma and real good karma and low bad karma and all that. Now, people get bodies there. Your body can be poor looking, average looking, or real good, hot looking for the opposite sex. And supposedly you'll get a hot looking body.
Yeah, good. Cool.
Which is what you want. You want to be attracted to the opposite sex. They don't have an exchange of fluids, but there is, you do orgasm. They have that. I heard. I don't know exactly how they do it. Probably
I'll show you some.
holding or something.
When you talked about the rainbow body, it reminded me of this experience I had.
Okay.
Where I was laying in bed and all these I was being pulled up out of my body, and all these lights, I could see all these lights, like rainbow colored lights going up, and
Oh,
my body was vibrating.
that was that day you told me that same time.
That was a different day.
Oh, a different time. That was the second
Yeah,
experience.
that was about 6 months ago. Yeah.
Wow.
And
So
my
maybe
body was
coming up.
felt so good because my body was vibrating and I was being pulled up when these lights were going up. And when you said the rainbow body, it reminded me of that because of the lights.
Okay. They
Yeah.
might be giving you a kind of a look-see at it or something.
Yeah, it was really a wonderful experience, but it was pulling me out of my body and I wanted to go, but I never went anywhere.
Yeah, you don't. It's not time yet.
Right?
There's supposed to be a window that opens, and,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be between 2025 and 2029, and another guy had some information on it that he gets on his work, and he went and talked to me about it. I never heard from him since, and he said that he got that this individual ascension, which is what it is, and
Mm-hmm.
the window opens is 2027. And I says, yeah, that fits right in what I got between 2025 and 2029. So that's the middle year. So it's likely to be that year. And
Yeah.
supposedly an eighth density being has to come and take you to the higher density. You know, in order to change from third density that we're in now, we might be in fourth density. We might have this planetary ascension before 2027. when we're going to the planet, and around us we'll go into fourth density. And then we get rid of the reptilians that are controlling us. They can't go in. Their souls can't go in that density unless you have empathy. I'll cover that in a little while.
Okay.
So you'll. I wish I wasn't old and well, I had this head injury. I lose train of thought. Okay, so I was. Okay, so a bunch of eighth density beings from all over our galaxy group comes to our planet and helps with this individual ascension. And there's right now about 700 million people that can make it, or that are expected to make it, and it could be as high as 1 billion people if a lot of people get polarized positive, so they'll go. And then what happens is the ascension window opens, and it'll stay open for around 2 months or something like that, and people go individually. An eighth density being will contact you somehow and say you got 2 hours, and then you're going to go on ascension, and you're going to be gone. So you use this 2 hours to say goodbye to your friends and loved ones, and maybe have a quick party or something.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm told I'm going on ascension in 2 hours. And then they take your body out of this physical realm, and you go into fifth density. And first you go to the soul plane, go through this life review, I guess, where you look at what you did the whole life. And then you go to the fifth density, and then you get there, you meet all the people that were in your oversoul. I forgot to look how many, it's 22 to 32 people each oversoul can be. The smallest is 22 people, and the highest is 32 people, is what I get.
Yeah.
Most people are in the high 20s.
Yeah, you said, I think it was 23 or 24, but I'm the last one in third density, you said.
Right. I'll look and read that on yours. Okay, let's see. You get about. Oh yeah. Okay, there's 24 souls in your oversoul, and all of them made ascension out of cycle except you. And okay, you go up there and you meet everybody in your oversoul. Is what happens. And you'll recognize them because you had past lives with all of them. You'll quickly recognize and know every one of them, no problem. And in between lives, see, like everybody in your oversoul takes a life, and then everybody lives their life, and they wait till everybody died and everybody's back on the soul plane, and then everybody shares their past, their life. They just have the experiences. And everybody in your oversoul gets that life experience. So you got everybody else's life plus your life as experiences for lessons and learning. Like if somebody like there's all these 15 spiritual lessons, and like one of the lessons might be jealousy, or one of the lessons is jealousy. And if anybody in your oversoul passes that lesson, then you pass it too. Just one person in the oversoul has to pass that lesson for everybody, because everybody gets that life experience when you get back to the soul plane in between lives. And then after all that life experience is shared, then everybody in the oversoul incarnates again, or waits until it's their turn, and then incarnates again, and then everybody lives, and then they wait till everybody gets back to the soul plane again after everybody dies. you all incarnate within a 20-year time period or 25 years or something like that.
Okay.
Because you one person could be a kid and your mother could be in your oversoul or your uncle or something like that. That's a
Yeah.
there or something. But everybody's in a like a 25-year window or whatever. Most of the people are in your family and some are friends. And in each life you'll hang out with maybe 2 to 5 people in your oversoul. You'll be going through your whole life with 2 to 5 people, and you'll probably meet a few others, and some of them you won't see on that life. Okay, so after you make the ascension of fifth density, you'll see everybody in your oversoul and say hello to them and all that, and then you'll be taken away and brought to another place, probably on another planet, where you go through. I'm going to call it high density orientation. You learn about living in the higher densities, and that lasts for like 6 weeks of our time here, quite a while, and you learn everything about high density living that you're going to go through from the 5th through the 9th density. Like 5th density lasts for a cycle, and then if you do everything normal, you make 6th density, and that lasts for 1 cycle to 1.6 cycles, depending on if you got in on the window or you made ascension out of cycle. They make it. Some people do different amounts, so when it's over, everybody's on the same part, So then everybody makes ascension at the same time to each density afterwards. And then 7th density lasts for 2 cycles. 8th density lasts for 6 cycles. And 9th density lasts for 18 cycles. Now, when you get to 5th density, your soul's big enough for 3 bodies. So your soul is going to divide 3 ways, and there's going to be 3 people in 5th density that are your soul. Wow. And they're going to be separate from you. They're not going to be your best friend or the people you hang out with. You're going to kind of go different ways than them, but you're going to know them and occasionally communicate with them. But each person is going to be separate and different and have their own experiences. Now, everybody, this is after you come back from the orientation. Now, all the working jobs or what you do in 5th density, everything has to do with the people that haven't made ascension yet below. To help and monitor and work with those people, like us now. There's people in 5th density that are helping us, but they don't show. They're not allowed to show themselves, and they do most of their work secretly. Like if you need to find something real bad and it's a big problem and you don't have any bad karma to discharge or anything like that, somebody will put something in your mind, look in the kitchen drawer, and then you'll find the missing item or something like that.
Right.
Or sometimes they'll might do something to save your life or something like that, which could be in function with your guardian angel too, of course.
Yeah.
I don't take, but they anyway. There's all kinds of jobs that have to do with helping or working with 3rd density, mostly secretly. And some of the jobs everybody wants, the good job, and some jobs nobody wants. That's the crap job. And then most of the jobs will be in between.
Yeah.
But if you got a high soul score and maximum good karma, you'll get a good looking body and get one of the jobs that everybody wants.
Okay.
And you would have earned that by doing everything real good in life and having your soul on a high level. You're gonna get you should get the premium job and be very beautiful.
Well, that's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, you earned it from how you ran your life and everything. You set up to deserve all that.
Wow.
And looking for it in 2027 when when the window opens and it should start to come on the news eventually when so and so made ascension, so and so other made ascension. There'll be pictures of people disappearing and stuff, and there'll be talk about it on the news and all that. Hopefully, we'll have made planetary ascension before that, and we'll be in fourth density, and we'll get rid of these reptilians that are controlling us.
Right.
Did you
Yeah.
about that much about my work is to try to expose and get these there's a group of people that have human bodies just like us, but they don't have human souls.
Right. Right.
Now,
I was reading that information on your website. That was good information.
yeah. Now I'm a wanderer, so I don't have a human soul. I have a soul from another planet, but before I incarnate here, my soul's modified to be human. So I pass in with everybody else, and star seeds that come here, their soul gets modified to be human also. But these other people that have reptilian souls, they make a clone and they put the reptilian soul in it, and then they get the clone to be in a position of power, run the police department or be a congressman or something like that, or run a religion or something. And they control our whole society with people that aren't human, but they look, they got a human body. They're disguised as us. But they're secretly they talk among each other how to control us and say the law don't apply to them and it only applies to us and they don't care about us. They just want to own and control everything. They try to make all kinds of money and punish us and take our freedoms away. But I found this out that they got a reptilian soul in a human body. I've been trying to tell everybody so everybody can spread the word and we can rise up against them. But people don't believe me, or they don't understand it. They think I don't have any proof. They want to do their own work and they don't want to promote what I found. So hopefully God's going to give me some other way to expose them.
Yeah, it seems like maybe more people are believing what's going on with that. I don't know, but because I'm kind of isolated here, I guess. But
yeah, you don't have as much effect from those people as other people do.
right, I'm not around a lot of people.
You know how that the election went crazy last time. The election was stolen, wasn't right.
Right.
And then they had this big deal on January 6th where people were upset about the election, so they went to Washington D.C. And then the police opened the Capitol and motioned everybody in.
Right.
And they had all kinds of people there, reptilians, and people with reptilian souls in there among all these people. And they were encouraging them to break things and cause problems and all that. And then they arrested all these people afterwards when the police motioned them in. They set up the whole thing to say insurrection. They created that themselves and tried to claim the other people did it, which was the big lie.
Right. Yeah, it's very sad. Those people were treated very badly, and
yeah,
I guess now people are afraid to protest or speak out, and that's what they want, right?
They're trying to control everything like that.
Right.
Try to stop it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. They cancel people. You protest against these people with reptilian souls, and then they blast you. They censor you on social media and say bad things about you and try to screw up your life. A lot of people go through that. It's called getting canceled.
Right. Right. That's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
The world has changed.
Already.
On the surface, the world has changed so dramatically in the last, 4 or 5 years. It's pretty crazy. But I hear about the waves of light. Is the waves of light that people talk about the same as the ascension, part of the ascension?
Waves of light.
Yeah, there are a lot of people talk about there's going to be waves of light. I don't know if those are part of the ascension process that's going to happen.
You're talking about that where the sun causes it?
I think that's what they mean, or something.
Yeah, that's the planetary ascension. Yeah, that's
okay.
From third density to fourth density.
The planetary ascension. Okay.
Yeah, that's when it's basically our solar system is in third density now, and it moves to fourth density.
Okay.
Now, God makes half the souls have empathy for others, and half the souls don't have empathy. I discovered this on my work, and that's how the universe is balanced. There's basically 18 major lines of DNA that count for all the living things. On the side that has empathy you got 4 animal groups. You got mammals, birds, fish with the major sea life, and then there's an animal group that's not on Earth.
Oh.
And there's 4 plant groups. You got flowers, trees, vegetables, and the grasses that include ferns and herbs. And then you got microbes for digestion and decay. And we'll keep all those when we get this move to fourth density. We'll just have those. And now on the other side, the animal groups are reptiles, insects, spiders, and then the shellfish and slugs and parasites and animals like that. And then on the plant side, they got fungus, mold, different kinds of weeds. The grains are there. And then there's a plant group that's not on Earth that's in that category too. And then there's microbes for disease. Now, when we have planetary ascension, we get rid of all those. Those are mostly the undesirable things.
Yeah.
I mean, they got rice in there and lobsters and some things we like, but generally it's the undesirable stuff like mold. Who wants mold and fungus? There is fungus. There's the food that's called. There's fungus food, and
Right.
I don't know how mold. I don't know how mold has any positive use at all. I can't figure that one out. And then there's insects overall might be good, but there's some insects like mosquitoes. The only positive use I can see of those is they're food for other beings, for birds and stuff, or fish.
Right.
Mosquito
Yeah.
larvae or whatever eat the mosquitoes. But as adult mosquitoes, I don't see any positive use there. They're just bloodsuckers. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
can do without mosquitoes myself.
yeah, I don't like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
When I moved,
bugs
when
like cockroaches. I don't know.
no, we don't need those.
I don't know if they have a positive use or not. They might eat uh, matter that's decomposing or something out in the wild. They might have a positive use there, but they can certainly be unwanted pests in your house.
Yeah, that's for
Probably
sure.
had them along your way in life at different times, right? You might
Yeah,
have
back in the day,
had them before. I know.
they don't like them they don't like the mountains so much. But I think in Florida they have a lot of those
Oh
big bugs,
yeah,
you
when
know?
they're not, they're loaded. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When
the
I
right.
lived, I lived in Hawaii when I was in the military, they had 6-inch cockroaches.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe
Huh?
4 inches or something. They're pretty big.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I went
people
to.
giving them names.
I was in Japan, and they have very big cockroaches there too, and
Right.
they're used to them. They're very big, they're like monsters, and they don't really seem to bother them. They're kind of used to.
Outside running around, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They get in buildings some too.
yeah. They were in the building. Yeah.
They kind of scurry around on the floor mainly. I think I didn't see them up in the cabinets or anything like that. I didn't know why. So
No.
uh, yeah, I was in the back of the bowling alley, where the machines were. There was a few of them running around the floor, and and the guy that worked back there said, "Well, that one's Dave, and this is Kelly." And
Oh no.
I'm sorry to use your name, but
Yeah, don't use my
just
name. No.
yeah.
Oh dear. So you were talking about the reptilians, and in my soul report, you had that I've been incarnated on 8 planets, mostly Earth, but that the reptilians controlled all 8 planets.
No, they don't.
Did I, okay, just Earth, or how many planets? Did I
Well,
misunderstood that?
I mean, what happens is the reptilians try. They look for a planet that's where it has new people, that a new civilization,
Okay.
like Earth's in the third cycle. 77,000 years humanity's been going. And so along the way we were just learning technology, uh, while this reptilian group might be in like their 10th cycle or something like that, where they got all their technology figured out and spaceships and everything.
Hmm.
They look for a new group that hasn't did all their technology yet, and they try to take over that planet and cause the people to work for them and mine the resources, and they take them and things like that. And they want to control and own everything, and control how the people live, for their own power.
Right.
and they and then depending on how the people are and what atmosphere the people live in. You know, it's like 5 atmospheres. Like oxygen's the most common, but you can have a water vapor atmosphere, hydrogen, methane. You can live underwater, and then you can have an ammonia atmosphere, believe it or not.
Okay.
And so, and then your life can be based on 6 different elements. We're made of carbon base, which is the most common, but there's also silicon. Let me go to that. Let me see if I can go to that page. Oh, let me go to my website here. I wanted to list all the elements that it's. Here we go. Okay. I'll list all of that. All right, and the 6 different elements in order of how common they are carbon, silicon, magnesium, chromium, boron, and arsenic.
Okay.
Like if you read the stuff on the secret space program and that kind of thing, you'll read a lot of stuff about Mars. And that's because Mars has oxygen atmosphere and it's carbon-based life. Although, go ahead.
I heard there was spiders and the ant people or the cryptids or some kind of insect on Mars.
Oh, you read that? Yeah, yeah.
That's
I think all different people come there and spaceships.
okay.
I think normally there's 2 or 3 groups that live there, and I think they're mammal people. But they have reptilians that live there, insect people, and maybe some spider people too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that have visited there and maybe lived there for a while, and they put big bases. The people, the reptilians.
There's somebody at my door. Let me just.
Okay, go ahead.
Just tell them.
I'll keep talking here. I'm trying to tell them about the atmospheres. There's oxygen, water vapor, ammonia, methane, hydrogen, and water for the different atmospheres you can live on.
Okay.
And I was telling them about the atmospheres and okay, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on Mars because of the secret space program, but you'll hardly read anything about Venus. And supposedly there's a group of people that live there too, but they have an oxygen atmosphere, but their life is based on boron. So if you went to Venus, you could breathe their atmosphere, but you would die in a short time because everything's based on boron, and that boron would go in your body and it would be poison since you're carbon-based life. So to go walk around on Venus, you'd have to be in a spacesuit. And that's why you don't hear much about it, or the secret space program ain't doing much there.
Yeah, because it was a secret space program what I heard about the beings that live on Mars.
Yeah, there's all different stories and different people talk on that. There's a lot going on. I've read a paper. I've read probably equivalent to 3 or 4 books on stuff about Mars.
And the moon, is the moon similar?
The moon doesn't have an atmosphere, so you have to make a base that's enclosed that has an atmosphere inside the base there. So walk on the surface of the moon, you have to have a spacesuit
Yeah.
with your gases in there to breathe. Now, supposedly we got 2 or 3 bases there. We got they call it the LOC, Lunar Operational Center, or something like that. This is all secretly disclosed by whistleblowers, supposedly on the internet. There's no proof of this. There's no documented proof of this stuff. Only what people claim is there.
Yeah, yeah.
They have these people that go on 20 and back. They grab somebody and they put them in the space program for 20 years. And then when the 20 years is up, they grow a clone from the same body and they stop growing it to when it gets to the age of when they grabbed them. And then they're able to put their memories and stuff into the clone. And then they kill the regular body and the clone becomes that person and they send them back to where they took them. And you know, I took a 9-year.
I read about that. I read that. Now, are the reptilians in charge of that kind of process, or?
Yeah, people with reptilian souls are doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, they're not doing it to their own people, just to the humans.
Right. Yeah. What about in my soul report? You talked about the brown dwarf and how there's supposed to be. It may cause cataclysms here on Earth.
Planet, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposedly this Planet X. It might be a brown dwarf star, or I've also heard now that it's a giant planet that's way bigger than Jupiter.
Wow.
And it's orbiting way outside of our solar system, and it's supposed to come in and like an elliptical orbit and pass by the sun about the same distance that Mars is away, but go above the solar system just briefly and go around the sun and then go back out space. And I hear they're holding the planet back so they can physically control where it goes. The planet's under control. They can like fly the planet where they want it to be, and they're stopping it from coming into the solar system. So I guess it's probably not going to come, and then when we go into fourth density, then they'll release the planet and let it go where it wants. Our sun, what happens? What I get, I don't know if you can hear this from astronomers, and they might not agree or whatever. But what I get is our sun orbits this planet Sirius. And that's like a supergiant star that's 1,000 times bigger than our sun or something like that, or maybe 500 times bigger. And it's a big blue hot ball, and it's 8 light years away. It's the brightest star in the sky. And sometimes they call it the dog star. Our sun orbits that star, and it takes 25,920 years to make one orbit. and that's our go through the zodiac.
Is
That
that not the
certain,
cycles that we talk about? The cycle
yeah, the cycle
on
is
Earth?
orbiting
Yeah.
that star one time. That's our cycle, 25,920 years for our sun to orbit Sirius once. And each part of the orbit, we see different stars and things around us uh, as the zodiac. That's where we go through the 12 signs of the zodiac. As we go through that orbit, the sky looks different because we're
Right.
going through the zodiac or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know exactly how it all works, but that's how I get it works. It's more
So
complicated than that, but
so it sounds like after the planetary ascension, then this planet will be let loose to come by. Is that
yeah, but our Earth will be in fourth density, and that planet will stay in third density, so it won't bother.
okay? Okay.
But it
Good.
was supposed to come by while we're in third density and cause, when it comes close to Earth, it causes earthquakes and go off and volcanoes to fire off and 300-mile-an-hour winds and all kinds of hell breaks loose and
Right.
a
Yeah.
lot of destruction. Uh, you can read about it in this Cobram Bible of when it passes by every 3,600 years.
The Cobram Bible.
Yeah, there's a book called the Cobram Bible. You can buy it on this one website called it's this I forget
Okay.
YOU. Let me see what the thing's called. YOUSA.com, I think is the website. Let me see. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. YOWUSA.com.
So
Your
is that
World
is that
USA.
the planet? Is that the planet X Nibiru, the one
Yeah,
that?
yeah. This one guy runs this Marshall Masters. He runs this website. He's like the expert on Planet X.
Okay.
Uh, YOWUSA.com, and you can order that Cobram Bible on that website, and you can
Okay.
read about Planet X there too. I don't know if he thinks it's coming or what, but everybody thought it was going to come, and it was almost here, on and on and on over the last 10 years, and don't seem to be getting here. So I get I get that they can hold it back and stop it from coming, but
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I've heard something like that too. I don't know if it was on your website or not. That maybe I read it on your website about that, or maybe somewhere
yeah,
else.
I put new posts out at least once a week, and I could have wrote about it there. I wrote about it off and on for years.
Yeah.
A few years ago, people were seeing it, and I thought it's going to come in the next year, and then it didn't come, and I thought it was going to come the next year, and then it didn't come, and then I find out, I read somewhere that they're able to stop the planet from moving, and they're holding it still in its orbit so it can't get here.
Yeah.
Uh, and I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe that it's so far away that it takes longer before it can get here. My friend built all kinds of bunkers and stored all kinds of food and made every kind of plan to house people in case this thing comes. And he's like a multi-millionaire. His his father started some company and it grew to be worth like 30, 40 million or something like that. And then there was only 2 or 3 kids, and they chopped up the money, and he got several million, like 10 million or something like that. And he spent a lot of it ordering houses and underground bunkers and everything related to surviving Planet X. But it looks like it's not going to come. But I don't know. He's ready for it if it does. He's
Well,
my friend.
the apparently the rich people, they're all building their bunkers.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
they're
Even when this eclipse was coming a couple days ago, or 3 days ago, whenever it was, I guess 3 days ago, they were saying you need to have food and water stored for a couple weeks for an eclipse. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. And so what I was getting is they're gonna do a EMP bomb.
yeah.
They send a nuclear bomb go off in the high atmosphere, and then it sends an electronic pulse and it knocks out all the electric stuff. All the power fails, and the transformers are blown, and
They've
people's
been talking about that.
circuits are blown on everything, and the
Yeah.
cars won't work. And if an EMP goes off, that's supposed to be the main weapon.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while now. But if those rich people are the reptilians and they're building bunkers, they're
Right.
not coming to fourth density anyway, right? Or do they?
Yeah, they don't know, but many of them probably don't know, but their soul can't go in fourth density. So when our solar system and our planet goes to fourth density, their soul won't be able to come, and their body will die.
Okay.
You have to. All living things have to have a soul to be alive. The soul's the motor or the engine and the control panel. So you take
Yeah.
the soul away, the organs stop working, the blood stops flowing, the heart stops beating, the chemical reactions quit happening. On whatever living thing it is, will die without a soul. People want to argue that they're soulless people, and they call them cardboard cutouts, and they don't know what's going on. They just walk through life like they don't know they're alive. I mean, there's people claim other people are like that. I mean, they look like that some, from our appearance, Oh, it's just a guy. He walks to work every day, and he has a boring life. So he doesn't have a soul. He's just goes through the motions, and he doesn't do anything. So he don't have a soul. People look at it like that, but I don't agree with that. Everybody has a soul, and everybody's on a spiritual path, and some people are more spiritual than others.
Yeah.
In the end, everybody will be, and we're all one. Every piece of matter, everything is all belong to the same source, comes from the same source, and it's all part of the overall law of one, or whatever they call it. So I mean, we
Right?
both
We're all connected, like quantum
right.
photons. We're all connected.
Yeah, supposedly every particle is connected to every other particle in the universe,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though one might be 11 billion light years away. There's
Right.
still a connection.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's wild. So, you told me in my soul report there were some curses and there were some spells and you were gonna get rid of them.
Right, I did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did
I
you feel any
appreciate it.
different on that?
Well,
Probably
you
not. Huh?
where do they come from?
You know, I don't understand it, but everybody has them. I think when people talk bad against you, that creates a spell or a curse.
Oh, okay.
And they're just accidentally made by people going against you or being mad at you or something like that.
Oh, oh, interesting.
They're
Okay.
not real strong or real important, but everybody has them, and sometimes they can affect you. Like you can have a certain curse, and then uh, like every time you have pasta, it doesn't come out right or something like that. And if you get rid of that curse, it'll change that, or I don't know. I think that things like that come out that way somehow or something. I think there are some people are sorcerers and they can put them on you too, but I think that's rare.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting because this I have a doctor. He's like an energy doctor, I guess you call him a intuitive, medical intuitive. So you said you were going to get rid of my curses and spells, and when I talked to him, he said I have, which was like 2 days ago. He said I have no curses or spells or implants. Everything's clear.
Okay, so then it worked. All right, right. Uh, nobody put any more on you since then. Okay, so
No, no.
it
I
worked.
talked to him.
I can get rid of them then.
Yeah, because I just talked to him Monday. I guess it was Monday. Yeah.
Oh, that's a vote of confidence for me. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. So that was great. That everything was clear.
Uh
So that was good. That was very good. I like it.
huh.
I just didn't know where they came from. So that's very interesting. I mean, I know there's some beings that do that kind of thing on purpose, but it's interesting that people can do that, not doing it on purpose, but just I guess using their words to
Yeah,
do something they didn't even mean to, huh?
there's a type of demon called the Archon,
Mm-hmm. I've
and
heard of that.
they generally put these three implants in everybody to control them and stop them from being totally spiritual. But if you're qualified for ascension, you're a star seer or a wanderer, you can block these implants from the Archon. But if your soul's in cycle and you got a younger soul, the Archon can put the implants on you. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. And you didn't mention that I had any implants, and my doctor
yeah,
said I did not have any implants either.
right. You're
And
qualified for ascension. Your soul can block them.
yeah, yeah,
You won't get them because your soul's a mature soul or whatever, qualified for ascension soul. So anyway, what else you got?
well, I think I have all my questions. The only thing, so let me ask you one more question. If so, what if there's somebody who's close to ascension but not quite there? Is there any way for them to change that, or do they just have to continue going through their process to,
Yeah, cycle.
they just go through their cycle? Yeah.
If they got 550 years to go, they have to go through that 550 years. They
Yeah.
can't shortcut it. But as soon as I know you're talking about your, is that your daughter or your,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, her, her soul started just after the window opened, about 500 years after the window opened in one cycle ago.
Okay.
And so she gets qualified 550 years after the window again. So
Yeah.
the window's going to open in 27 probably.
Right.
And then,
So yeah, so like I have been through 1.8 cycles, you say. So
right, yeah.
I've been through a lot.
When, and when you get to 1.82 cycles, your soul is moved automatically to fifth density.
Okay, so I need to
You're
move
like- and
before
you're like-
that.
You back in that way, and you don't make ascension, and you get a crappy looking body and a unwanted job.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I
you
don't want that.
yeah, you want to get there by making ascension.
Yeah, so it's good that it's coming up, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
yeah.
people. There's millions of people that are here as star seeds because they did like you, and they didn't make ascension out of cycle, and they need for the window to open for them to make ascension, and it's not going to open on their planet, and they're going to get to that 1.82 cycles. So just before they get there, they ship them to Earth to incarnate here and live a life when the window's going to open, and then they can make ascension here. That's why all these star seeds are here. I think there's 65 million star seeds. It's either
Wow.
35 million or 65 million, but it's sure a lot of them. When I do,
Yeah, that's
when
a
I
lot.
check souls, I run into a lot of star seeds.
Yeah.
And supposedly even more wanderers than star seeds. But star seeds are more flashy. They show up more, and they make their presence known more than wanderers do.
Hmm.
Wanderers are more subtle, keep to themselves a little bit, and if they got a high skill level, they do a lot, and you're known. But if they got a lower skill level, they kind of stay hidden. You know, they don't do anything flashy. But the star seeds seem to be more flashier, show up, and they
Yeah.
make presence known more.
Yeah, I think that's true because you hear about star seeds a lot, but you don't really hear much at all about wanderers. That's true, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
it's
That's
better to be a
interesting.
wanderer than a star seed.
Yeah.
A star seed is the same as you, but they're from another planet.
Okay.
And usually that other planet is already in fourth density.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so they automatically have a more advanced soul than you. So when they lived all their lives in fourth density, and then they come and incarnate in third density, their soul is a little advanced compared to our souls. So they seem more intelligent and spiritual, and it seems like they're a little better than us. But since they only come here if they're qualified for ascension on their planet and they didn't make it.
Okay.
So they come here to make that individual ascension in 2027. Probably going to be like you're waiting for.
Right.
They come here for that. And if they got a younger soul that ain't ready to make ascension, then they don't come here.
And the wanderers, now the wanderers, I forget exactly what the wanderers are doing.
Okay, I'll explain it. Wanderers, first of all, they can have a skill level of 1 to 4, and 2.5 or higher. They have the ability to help humanity as a whole in spirituality in various ways, like a website, writing a book, or webinars, or any of that.
Right.
A wanderer lived on another planet, and they went through third density like we're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they graduated to fifth density, made ascension to fifth density. And then when they get to 3/4 of a cycle of fifth density, 0.8% of them that are in the top 8 and 10,000 are asked if they want to be a wanderer.
Okay.
And I'm one of those.
Okay.
and you can say yes or no. And then I think a lot of those in fifth density say yes, but most people don't make it there. Then they finish fifth density and they go into sixth density. And then a quarter cycle into sixth density, you got to be in the top 9 and 1,000.
Okay.
So it's a lot easier to be a wanderer. And that's 99.2% of the wanderers come make it at that point. And 0.8% in fifth density. So fifth density is rare, but sixth density is real common. So then they're asked at that point if they want to be a wanderer and come back and incarnate on third density planets for 0.97 cycles or 25,000 years and go through like 5 lives to help third density planets. They rotate every life, they live on another planet. Well, they have like 5 planets they rotate through.
Okay.
They live on planet A, and then when they die, they go to planet B, C, D, E, and then back to A. And if one of those planets makes planetary ascension, goes to fourth density, then they put a new planet in their list. They never incarnate on fourth density planets.
Okay.
They don't need the spiritual help because the beings that haven't made ascension that don't have empathy can't go there. In third density, you got these reptilians and insect people causing mayhem and trying to control the planet and stuff. And you got the demons and things like that. When you get to fourth density, there's no demons or reptilians or any of that negative stuff. So wanderers aren't needed. So wanderers, if they got a skill level of 1, 1.5, or 2, they just help the people around them have a better life. Oh, a wanderer 2 is equivalent to like a starseed 3. Most starseeds are starseed 3, and they just help the people around them. But they're kind of flashy and make their presence known a lot. And I seem to check their soul a lot and find out somebody's a starseed. And then a lot of wanderers have 2.5 or 3 skill level, and they can do some project to help humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
Like they might write a book, they might have a powerful website, they might do webinars or have a newsletter or something like that. Or it might be specialists in the weather or history or something that help other people. And there's a few that make Wanderer 4, and they're super skillful, and they have amazing projects all over the place. Like Alfred Weber's one of them. David Wilcox, another one. And you can go on my website and open the Wanderer page and read about. I got a list of a lot of wanderers on a list. I stopped adding to the list. I got tired of it on there. But if they're real high level and they're doing something real important, I add them to the list.
Okay.
But I put the level 4 ones on the list pretty much, and I pointed them all out. Mike Tellinger's another level 4 wanderer. You heard of him?
I've heard his name maybe from your website. What is he doing?
He's doing. He discovers his own circles in South Africa, and he's doing history, and he's got this project going, One Small Town, where he's trying to train a city to go to work together at projects and be free from the governments, free
Nice.
reptilians, basically. But
Right. Oh, nice.
he don't understand. I tried to tell him about the reptilians controlling everything, him and everybody else, and they don't seem to get it. They don't understand, that all you got to do is get the reptilians out of power, and humanity will move toward the golden age by itself. If you
Right.
if you eliminate these people with reptilian souls, they're the source of all negative BS. Everything bad happening is from them.
Yeah, they're causing a lot of trouble in the world.
99% or more of the bad stuff is caused by them. You get rid of them, and the leaders will be loving and help the people. People see that all the leaders are evil and power mad and controlling things for themselves and all that.
Right.
And they don't understand that these people have reptilian souls that are doing that. And they think, well, anybody that gets into power will automatically be like that. And they believe that because that's all they see. They don't understand that all the people that are in high power got reptilian souls, and they're creating all the laws to help themselves and making all the rules and try to take our freedom and penalize us and have a heavy surveillance on everybody and
Right. Yeah.
control the money and make you take a vaccine and stand 6 feet apart and
Right.
all this evil nonsense. It's all bullshit.
Well, yeah. Well, if you talk to your neighbor doesn't want to control everything, and he doesn't want war, and he does. You talk
Right.
to.
Yeah, they got
That's what
money.
not what people want.
They got a shortage of everything except money for war.
Right.
They got
Right.
all the money you need for the war. They got all kinds of money ready to go if there's a war. But in case there's not enough to educate people, then we don't have the money. We're short of money. We don't have enough. Or if the people over here are going hungry and there's not enough food, wow, there's a shortage. What can we do? We don't have enough money. But if there's a war, all of a sudden now we got all the weapons and bombs and bullets and soldiers and ready to go for the war. But
Yeah. It's horrible. That's
they gotta
horrible.
the people. It's the other way around.
Right. But like yeah, no, we don't want that. People don't want that. That's not what we want. We just want peace and to live a nice, peaceful life. But then you get all the people that are in power. Those people are different, right?
Right, because they got reptilian. Most of them got reptilian. Not all of them, but most of them got reptilian souls.
Yeah.
And when you have a reptilian soul, you're in a different group, and they work together to take over, and their souls don't have empathy for others. So they don't care who they hurt or kill or anything. It doesn't matter to them. That's just business.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. It's terrible.
and humans would care about all that. And
Right.
people, I try to expose it, try to tell everybody on and on and on and on like that. Those are the people controlling us. And you can identify them by their aura. We got to work together to get these people out of power. If I talk about that, I'll lose subscribers. Or you don't have any proof, or I don't think it goes that way. I mean, maybe you're the expert on souls, but I know this guy, he doesn't have a reptilian soul because he's my friend. So he doesn't have one. You're wrong. You're wrong on this guy because he's my friend. So he don't have one, I mean, it's people, I can't get through to them. I try real hard to expose these evil people. I mean, we could rise up and if we told everybody that we're being controlled by reptilians, and they're in human bodies and they just got a reptilian soul and they're all working to enslave us. If everybody knew that, they would stand up and say, "This is terrible. What do you mean reptilians are controlling us? How did they get in power? We got to take them out of power. Let's shoot them all. Let's get rid of them." I mean, people would be screaming bloody murder if I could get everybody to know. But these other people that have a voice on the internet more than me, they won't write about it. The only this guy Alfred Weber is saying it, but he's like the only one. And this guy Sean in Ireland, Out of the Bag Radio, he puts me on his show a lot. I recently put a new video of him on my site. It just came out. You might want to watch that. Out of the Bag Radio. It's on.
Out of the Bag.
Out of the Bag Radio in Ireland.
Okay.
That radio show, and he interviewed me for. He interviewed me for an hour before the eclipse, and then an hour after the eclipse. The next day, you know, the day before the eclipse, he interviewed me for an hour, and then after the eclipse, he interviewed me for an hour. And we just, you know, there was so much hoopla going on about the eclipse, so we had a before and after. You can go on my. It's on the homepage. You can get it. You can find it. It's in the new posts or my video page.
Okay.
You can click it and listen to it. I thought I did good on that interview.
Have you ever seen the Lacerda Files?
What's that?
The Lacerda Files. It's an interview with a reptilian, and it's on. You can find it online. It's written out. It's not
alien
like
interview, as an alien interview.
It's a video of, or not a video, but it's a website where you can see the written out interview with a reptilian. And there's different levels of reptilians, right? The lizards and the reptilian and
There's different kinds. I guess you could say they're at levels, but
this is kind of. It sounds like it when I read this. It seems like this is the lizard. It's an interview with the lizard.
Might be.
But it's interesting. You might want to look at it. It's called the Lacerda Files.
Yeah. Okay, send the link to me in my email.
Okay, I'll send you something. It's very detailed.
Put it in the Skype chat too, if you want. Put it in the Skype chat if you want.
Okay. I will do that. I'll send that to you. I found that, and it was very, very detailed, very interesting.
All right, I might have seen it before, but I might.
Yeah.
All right, you want to wrap this up? You got any more? Or you got anything more?
I just wanted to thank you for the soul report, and I appreciate your work. And I want to thank you for getting rid of my curses and my spells. And it's been really a pleasure to talk to you. I
all right,
enjoyed
happy this hour and a half talk, and pretty close to that.
Wow. Okay, time flies, huh?
All right, well, say goodbye, and you're welcome to stay in touch. And if you want to do another video like this, we can. If you get some things to talk about,
okay,
we can make another one.
All right, thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
All right, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.